You're listening to the 49 Carats Podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Podcast. I'm your host, Steph. We're back with another prospect spotlight. Joining me today is defensive end out of Old Dominion, Marcus Haynes. How you doing today, Marcus?
I'm doing pretty good. I hope y'all having a good day.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We're halfway through the week, so it's pretty good. But we'll get right into it. As you know, these interviews they're meant for fans to get to know you a little bit better, both from the, we see the stats, we see some of the tape, but from the other standpoint, just the personality and who you are as a person, getting to know that side. So we're just gonna get right into it. You played your entire collegiate career at Old Dominion, right? So was there a specific year you really came into your own as a player and, you felt like the game really started to slow down for you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Shoot, I would have to start from the beginning of my career. As you come in as a freshman, I came from Fort Union Military Academy. That was a prep school in Virginia. So I came in as an early enrollee. So I had a little head start into the spring ball process and fall ball. And I played behind some really good people named O'Shane Zimenez, Tim Ward, Boone Rotimi, people that are still in the NFL today or whatever. So being behind them, trying to soak up everything. And then finally being able to get my chance around junior year. I think it had to be my redshirt sophomore year. My redshirt sophomore year, finally being able to step up into a bigger role and coming into my own. The game starting to slow down for me in that area. So.
Yeah, I mean, since 2019, you either led the team or tied the team lead in sacks. So definitely, if it seemed like something clicked for you. What's something you're most proud of when you think back on your time at ODU?
Shoot, now that everything is well and done, it's really just the bonds of the brothers. Shoot, starting to think of in training and stuff like that, wondering how they're doing and how their workouts are coming and how they were able to bring me up and give me extra motivation. Remember how hard they're working, so I got to work harder, stuff like that. Just being in the locker room, having to come back and do my own laundry and stuff like that makes you think about your brothers and stuff like that. As crazy as it may sound, so.
Yeah. I was just talking with you about the fact that some of you guys were at the combine, Kuntz and Sadoveri. Both of those guys, mentioned having met with the 49ers. Clearly there's something that the 49ers like about what Old Dominion football, stands for and what you guys have going on as far as culture goes. What do you think it is about, the culture and just the set of guys that you have that stands out to teams?
Well, Coach Ronnie does a great job of recruiting for us. He was able to come in and bring in a lot of people like Kuntz. So, something that we have is just, I kind of don't want to say, but it's almost like we're undercover university, if that makes sense. If you see the people that make it out and people that are on our front lights, these are people that have bounced back from other universities, or maybe guys that were passed up on coming out of high school, didn't have many stars. People that were taking a chance on and that wouldn't be able to take the most of their opportunity when the chances came.
So kind of band of misfits in a way. You guys bond over, having that that opportunity together at ODU. That's pretty awesome. Have you stayed in touch with those guys at all throughout this process, since you guys are pretty much on the same page, preparing for this, next step together? Has there been any exchanging of advice?
Yeah. Like I say, I talk to my teammates a lot, more than what you would think, to be honest. Everybody's calling yeah, what's your agent saying? Oh yeah, what's my agent saying? Oh, what kind of cleats are you running in? I was just asking Kuntz what kind of cleats he was running in and stuff like that to make sure my cleats matched up. You know what I'm saying? All different type of little things. Sal, he always slides up on my Instagram stories, gives me encouragement. Always text him, giving him encouragement. It's everybody always checks up on each other and make sure everybody's still on the right page. Everybody's gonna be ready to fire off on pro day.
That's awesome. Now currently, like you're listed as a defensive end, but I've seen that you've played at a lot of different spots on the defensive line, right? Do you embrace that versatility, and would you be okay with the team wanting to move you around at least for a snap or two?
Oh yeah. So I guess when I came in as a freshman, I was a hand in the dirt DN, like regular 4 point stance. As we had stat switches and stuff like that, I ended up evolving into a stand up defensive end, someone that was able to be able to drop back a linebacker, someone that was also able to drop back in coverage and still be able to rush the edge while still setting the edge for running, not having to come off the field and certain personnels and everything like that. So like over the years, like from having my hand in the dirt to being able to stand up and still being able to put my hand in the dirt, I feel like being versatile is like one of the best things that I could that I bring to this draft class too. Being able to be like a Micah Parsons type of end in the league. That way I will be able to be versatile, be able to step back, chase somebody down. I'll be able to cover the slider, the running back, coming out of the backfield. Shoot. I'll be able to do what I do best and rush the edge. So
So yeah, because that was my next question. Because I noticed like from what I watched, like you were rushing a lot from the standing stance, and I was just curious if you would be comfortable doing hands in the dirt. So it sounds like you're comfortable with both, and you've done both in the past.
yeah,
You did have a chance to play at the Tropical Bowl. Congrats on that, by the way.
I
Um,
appreciate.
Tell me about that experience and how you felt that week went for you.
Whew. It was an eye opener for me. Shoot, I can't lie to you. Like a lot of people in the country, they might not admit, but I had a lot of stress going into it. Finally being able to meet my agent and him being able to make things happen for me, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go to the Tropical Bowl. Finally getting down there and being able to see these big teams, these guys with big helmets or whatever. But I'm the one that's being acquired and being able to talk to a lot of different organizations and be able to finally step into like the business side of the game and character test of the game, being able to interview with some of the teams, like it was a dream come true. It was like something I couldn't have. I can't say couldn't have prepared for, but it was just like a take in that as its coming moment, and I was already prepared for the moment, so everything happened the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a very like overwhelming experience, and for a lot of guys, I don't know if it was the same for you, but I know for a lot of guys it's kind of their first preview of that NFL coaching, right? So what struck you as the biggest difference between, what with college coaching to what that preview you saw at the Tropical Bowl with NFL style?
Um, I think the biggest thing when they say something you do, you're treated as a professional at that point. So if something's basic and they would like you to fix something like a step, and because that's the other thing, they're only telling you things that's going to make you even better. So if I'm able to accept that coaching, absorb that coaching, and be able to put out what they're coaching, then I'll be able to be in the best possible in order for someone else to be able to see me or for them to take me. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, from an iron sharpens iron standpoint, was there anyone that you went up against at the Tropical Bowl throughout that week that you especially enjoyed going up against?
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but there was this nice tackle. He was from Arizona. We were going at it all week. I think he won the MVP of the Tropical Bowl, or at least the offense MVP for our team. But he was definitely a nice guy to go to. Ran into his mom and him in the elevator there and went to the Kobe Steakhouse. So I was like, like he was just like a good guy to stand around, a good guy to compete against, someone that kept me up on my game. He gave me some pointers. I was able to give him some pointers. I feel like we'll be able to see each other on the next level.
Nice. That's what it's all about. I mean, also at your time at ODU, like, was there anyone that you went up against that maybe is in the pros now, or maybe even a teammate, or someone who you felt made you better by just going up against them?
You gotta have to excuse me with not knowing people's names off the top of my head, but
It's okay.
we played in the I can't remember the bowl game. Oof, we played in our bowl last year. We played Tulsa. They had a left tackle that was drafted in the first round by the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like
Oh,
he was a great opponent. I think that was the best opponent that I faced in college. But me being able to go toe to toe with him and be able to battle with him all game, and not knowing that he was going to be a first round tackle, and be able to be all mm, be able to be all conference and I mean all league and PFF first teams and stuff like that. I felt like that was a good guy to have on my resume and also have film against too.
Yeah, definitely. So that was Tyler Smith.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Smith.
So yeah, that is pretty impressive. So again, like at this point, you're preparing for your pro day. I have it down as March 24th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's a typical training day looking like for you these days?
Okay, so I guess I would wake up around like 7:45, 8ish. I always like to make a breakfast sandwich. I put a nice sausage patty, around like 4 to 5 slices of bacon, an egg. I like to drizzle a little bit of honey on the bun, and I a
Okay.
little bit there with some cheese, and that usually has me like nice and pumped and getting ready for me to go down to training. I trained down to Virginia Beach with Anthony Stringfield at first string training. So then we usually meet at our gym. Our nice coach, Mrs. Coach A, she does a nice long, like 30 to 45, maybe even an hour some days, depending on what we need. A nice stretch session to be able to get us loose. She also has these nice essential oils that we use in order to fire us up and to be able to get our muscles moving as we're stretching and everything like that. So she gets us nice and stretched out. We do our daily routines, whatever we're working on that particular day. And then also some days we have 2 days where we go to the gym and we also go to our indoor facility.
Yeah, that's a lot. Every time I hear like, because at this point, like I've interviewed a few guys, I always ask them, what is the training looking like, and I'm always just blown away by like how much work it just it gives me like a different appreciation for what you guys do and this process for you guys, because it's a very busy, grueling time for you guys, and just I always appreciate that. Um, when you meet with teams, what's the feedback that you get from them? Like, what's kind of their consensus on you?
Um, I guess it's hard to say. It's to me, it feels like normal conversation. It seems like someone trying to get to know me, just like I'm trying to get to know them. So, like,
Mm.
if you can imagine just meeting somebody new, asking them like a little bit about their background, and then also you asking a little bit of like what you're interested in. It's just like a back and forth conversation. I feel like in the beginning of the conversation, they don't really know who I am, but at the end of the conversation, they're leaving with a smile. I'm also leaving with a smile, and then we're both on good terms.
There you go. I mean, I'm smiling now, so it's probably the same for them, right? You met with the 49ers out there at the Tropical Bowl.
Yes, ma'am.
How'd that go for you?
Shoot, we had a nice long conversation. Whew, we talked about different defenses. He had me draw up a few defenses for them. Kind of like a personality test, asking about my character, like what are some of the hardest things I had to go through in college. Shoot, who were some of the guys that I would bring up with me, like who are I guess like people that I would recommend, stuff like that. Like it's if you can imagine like a regular job interview, like some of the things that they ask you
Yeah.
on a regular job interview. That's pretty much what they're asking. Like, it's not is before having these interviews and thinking it's something that it's not like this is my job. Like, this is the profession I want to step into. So they're asking professional questions.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, no, that insight is definitely interesting, because from the outside you think it's like a certain thing, and I've heard from you, and then some other who I interviewed yesterday told me like the same thing. It's just like a regular job interview. So it's kind of interesting to get that insight. As far as like preparing for a game, what are some things that you look for in film when preparing for an opponent?
Ooh, that's my favorite thing is film. I might have said that's one thing people will always show their weakness. Now that I'm out of college, before I have to read do everything, I can kind of give a few gems. Okay, so like one of the big things I like to watch for like in like tackles. I like to see how they get in their stance. I like to see how they put their feet. I like their tendencies, the way they move their knee, because the first thing that has to move before they move is their knee for offensive linemen. So that's how I know I'm getting my get off and how I can jump the snap. From there, I see if he uses I keys. I see he's either only three things are going to happen in each play. He's going to block to you, he's going to block away, or it's going to be a pass. So usually, every old lineman is taught that he has to look at you. He has to look at his assignment. So he has to look at me. He has to look at the guy down from me, or he's going to be a little bit threatened and know he has to kick back. So his foot's going to be a little bit further back. So not every single play, but if you watch your film enough, you know what kind of play is coming. From there, you can prepare. Either I have to set the edge, I'm ready to sit down and wait for this read option, or I'm gonna have to throw my best pass rush.
Now, as far as play recognition, you talk about, rushing, but also like being able to drop back into coverage. What are some cues you look for there to know, okay, now I got to drop back?
Okay. Well, usually it would be like a particular play call. So say if I had a dropping play that was sending them from the sideline, usually maybe I might bait the tackle to make them think I'm rushing, while knowing that I have the running back coming out of the backfield on a PP, what they call a PPC rush, a pitch pill contain rush. So basically, if the running back stays in, I'll be able to rush. But if he peels out for a flare, then I will have to peel off with him. I would just bait the tackle, make him think that I'm coming. See if the running back comes out and be able to glue him in his route. But say if I have a play where I have to drop back, I might play with the tackle a little bit, go ahead and drop back. Like at that point, I would know the cadence, or I would be watching the film to know the cadence or whatever. So then I will come back a little bit before the cadence and be able to apex the tackle in the slot, be able to deny number two and be able to get under number one.
I love the in-depth answer. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Uh,
Last question for you. What is a team and a fan base getting with Marcus Haynes on and off the field?
Someone that's energetic, someone that they can trust to be able to uplift their franchise, someone that's really family oriented, there's someone that's very loving, someone that would do anything for the organization too. So when you see me, it's like a red sunshine. Like I might say I'm a. It's hard kind of trying to describe yourself like when someone asks you to like.
No, you're all good. I mean, ray of sunshine is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just this is your time to kind of hype yourself up a little bit on here.
Yeah, I feel like I just bring a nice energy to the room. I'm able to help wherever I can, if that makes sense. So it's just like I need a job. I would like to be hired. Where do I fit in? Wherever you need me to do.
Yeah, right on. Well, Marcus, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. This was really fun. Good luck on your pro day. I'm going to be checking that out on
Yes,
Twitter.
ma'am.
I'll be refreshing my feed, being on
Yes,
the lookout for that. And good luck on the draft process and beyond as well. I'll definitely be following along.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. And thank you to those who have tuned in. If you enjoyed this interview, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. There'll be plenty more content like this to come. Tomorrow, we're back at it. For now, have a great rest of your Wednesday evening, people. Peace.